the What the D-Pad podcast, the last one for the year, and I am the host, Evan Griffin, and uh, Miles just sent us the most interesting music track, and I have to play it right now.
This is our new theme song.
Miles, can you please recontextualize this now that this is actually being recorded?
Okay. So, the audio composer for the original Resident Evil is my spirit animal. This man was a deaf composer who, after doing, he's this wonder kind of, he's so, ethereal, and it's amazing he can't hear anything. So he's giving some interview, and some chucklefuck slams the door, and he, gets startled. And then, long story short, they start unraveling this web of, not only can he hear things, and he's lying about it, he also can't compose music. He's just a huge asshole who just constantly doubled down. So he just kept lying until he became the head composer for a video game. That man's my hero. I wish I could just lie through life and become the king.
I mean, don't let any job tell you that you need a certain amount of experience.
Oh, dude, fuck that.
Composer's name is Mamoru Samura Gochi.
Yep. I do want to stress that some people actually consider this track a classic.
It is most definitely a classic. But
is it really?
Evan,
yeah, I'm familiar with this one.
Next time you're at work and somebody's like, "Hey, can I have a raise?" and they're like, "No, sorry, man, you're not qualified." Just go, "I'm deaf," and then just immediately you're hired. It's perfect.
Oh my god, I love it.
And you know what the best part about that is? It's not like I can say that. I'm not going to upset any deaf people if they can't hear me.
Oh no.
Off to a good start.
Off to a great start. And then as soon as I close that window, I have a list of our best review, our favorite games of this year, and then I have random gameplay clips going on the right side, and it's Mass Effect Andromeda. Oops.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Would you
it's
put
not
it
on my list. It's not on my list. God no.
Who put Mass Effect Andromeda on that list?
They did. I just happened to play the clip.
I'll argue for it if we want to make things interesting.
No, you don't have to. Please do not feel obligated.
Yeah,
I will.
No, I like it enough, but I mean, it's also very clear that this is not the game they wanted to make.
It's all worth it. For at the end, when you beat the game, you can customize your appearance at will, and you can just become the Starburst Strawberry Man. Multicolored cornrows.
For a second, I believed you.
It's worth it. Do you? Can you?
Is that actually in the game? I haven't finished it.
Spoilers. That's the final boss.
Yeah. Spoilers. Your final gift for saving the universe is becoming anything you want to be, and I wanted to be the Rainbow Starburst Man. And I made an armor completely made, it just looked like a big bowl of Skittles. I played the whole game as default
this
male.
Cannot continue.
So I just want to the default appearance. I just want to imagine, in the game, they're so used to, this guy saving the world, and he just walks out of his bedroom one day, and he's the fucking Starburst Skittles Man. And they're all just acting he saved everybody, so I guess he can just be, purple, blue, yellow and green cornrow hair now.
The idea of there he is, the savior of the right, man, you do you.
Isn't that kind of the definition of being the hero of a Mass Effect game?
No, but
being made of Skittles, it should be.
It's being Big Bird in a business meeting. That's what it is.
Hold on. Have you guys seen this Big Bird slamming down the door clip?
Yes, yeah. It's good shit.
Big Bird kicks down door. Hold on.
This is supposed to be. We'll get to video games eventually,
to video
guys.
games in a moment.
That's debatable.
I was talking about a video game.
God, I love this clip. I'm watching this clip even though I've seen it. It's even got the Monsters Inc. music. God, I love this.
It's a fucking Star Wars one.
No, play. Play that with the. Are you fucking
with the
kidding
Resident
me?
Evil music? Wait,
Play that with the Resident Evil music. Okay. Can I just say? Can I just say? Fuck Windows. I just had everything freeze, and the last thing that my computer popped up with before it basically hard locked itself is, how likely are you to recommend Windows 10 to a friend or colleague? Like, bitch, you better get the fuck off my screen, I swear to God!
Bubbles, I swear to God. So I do apologize, my voice is shot, by the way.
To quote Miles, that Resident Evil track, to quote Joel from Vinesauce, it sounds like he's farting in a bathtub.
Yep.
Yeah.
Why is your voice all scratchy? Were you also screaming at Star Wars? Speaking of Star Wars!
Oh no, let's not do this. we spent 45 minutes before we started this doing this.
I missed it.
You missed the conversation.
Well, we'll have
or
to
you missed
start
the movie?
No, we got things
Star
to do.
Wars!
Your boy's gotta go buy PUBG. Before it gets expensive and not worth it anymore.
Right. Okay, alright. So, that being said, oh god, porgs everywhere. Alright, so I think Chris is joining us.
Are you
He's
powering
online.
or something?
What's that?
Yep.
Super Saiyan or something?
Yeah. That's exactly
So,
right.
This
everyone
is
listening-
to go even further beyond!
So we've decided that our game of the year is Animal Crossing Pocket Camp.
No,
We sure as shit did not.
Thank you for tuning in. This is the Young Folks' official choice. We are all playing it.
Actually, I'm looking at the
Right
list
now.
right now. I'm looking at the broadcast right now.
Hey.
I don't see Animal Crossing on that list.
It's at the bottom.
Yeah, that's where it belongs.
Well, so
And
here's the
it's
deal.
gonna
Okay,
it's
so
rise. I
I'm
mean,
gonna
you start off
contextual-
level 1.
I'm gonna contextualize this list. So because I am, not in charge of the film section that everybody wants to contribute to, I have the game section. There's a smaller number of us, so getting the averages of all
Smaller
these
but
numbers
more vocal.
Yes, that's game in
God,
general.
I haven't played 10 games this year.
Hey Chris, how's it going?
Have you played Animal Crossing Pocket Camp?
Okay,
No, but I saw
goddamn
my
it.
sister
You know what
play
you
it
need
all
Enough
to
of that.
sell this bit? Just be like, and the number one game of the year is Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, and then just you see this like giant novelty check just being like slid in behind you,
and it's like
and it just says like 1 billion bells.
Dude,
If we were
Nintendo.
all in the same room, could you imagine if he had pulled that stunt? That would have been killer.
Oh my god.
I mean, Nintendo, if you are watching, Shigeru, listen to me. I will be a shill for Animal Crossing.
Dude,
Hey.
Yoko Taro would probably get you a big
Oh my
novelty
God.
check for Animal Crossing.
Okay, so on the top 10 list of video games for 2017, my vote is Yoko Taro. Yoko Taro, the best goddamn video game. Okay, hang on, I have to post this. Okay, keep talking. I have the most amazing thing to show all of you.
Fine.
Okay,
Yeah, I know.
While he's doing that, do the list contextualizing.
Okay, so
you were doing.
basically
Let's get back on track.
contextualizing this list, I just pulled in either top 5 or top 10 or whatever in between from people from the site, and I just have organized these in terms of how many people have decided that they like this particular game enough to put it on this list, and then I just put them in the order of how many votes they had. There's no averaging or anything like that. This is a loose list, and we're going to try to figure out what belongs on here and what does not. We're just going to make a solid top 10 list, and then we're going to just make an end of year post in the next week or two.
This
Sounds like
year's
it
winner
is.
is Okami HD. Fuck you, IGN.
No remakes and no remasters.
Oh, so that means
no
I'm out.
bad games. So that
Did you
means
just call Okami
do you mean-
HD a bad game?
no, I
Bitch,
called
I
it
know where you
remaster.
live.
That means there's nothing
on,
here
hang on.
but Animal
Hang on.
Crossing Pocket Camp.
Well, hang on. We got to contextualize this because Metroid is on.
Metroid is on
technically
here.
a remake.
Travis, you're the no. Well, hold on. No, it's a different. It's a
a reimagining.
It's a
remaster.
full remake
A
though. It's not just a
remakes
remaster.
Remakes are
It's a-
fine. Not just
Yeah.
a standard remaster like the Jack Collection or Okami or even Crash Bandicoot. If it's just a skin on the game,
Question: Does Pokemon?
Alex? Oh wait.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know.
I can share the list, so that you can actively see it. I'm just gonna not let people edit it. So
okay.
Let me edit it.
No, you're not doing that.
I mean, it's good that you won't let me edit it because it will just be 20 entries of Animal Crossing Pocket Camp.
We're gonna have a showdown of adorable animal games before this night is done. I assure you.
Swear to God.
Yeah,
so adorable.
I came prepared.
Can you be Santa Claus? And
the reason I am
you could be Witch Dagger.
The reason I'm contextualizing this is because the order at which these have now started to appear, if you click on this link, Zelda's at the top because the most people had Zelda in the list. And
that's fair.
From there, it's like, Mario Odyssey and Horizon. There were 5 people that put that on their Persona.
Fucking Horizon? Are you shitting me?
Yeah, Horizon's on
There
the
like
list.
that I've actually played.
What's that?
You played Sonic Mania, didn't you?
Water Pulse. Me? No.
So,
I thought you did.
Here's a question, because I haven't played it. Does Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, does that seem like it would count? Is it different?
Yeah, it is a sequel.
Those are sequels, yeah. Oh,
so
yeah.
it's not the same. It's not the same game then.
There is enough different than I would consider it.
It's about the same as Pokemon Crystal is to Pokemon Gold and Silver.
There's more to it than that. I will say the story does change drastically at the end. Like, it gets about 4.5 hours longer.
So this is everybody check the Discord. This is my entry for why Yoko Taro should be Game of the Year. When they were at the Game Awards, everybody has to hand out like a for your consideration thing. This is Yoko Taro's. First of all, to contextualize, he handed it to people crumpled up in a ball.
I saw this dude, by the way. He was at PAX East. He was at a
Yes,
panel.
I know. I'm very upset that I also didn't get to see him.
Yeah, sorry. Oh, I just realized that this Mass Effect Andromeda footage is in Spanish.
That's fine. It's even better.
Yeah,
it makes more sense that way. Let's face it.
Wildlands.
I mean, honestly, the voice acting is so bad that it's probably improved if you can't understand it.
In which one?
Andromeda.
Oh, no. Okay, you want to talk about bad voice acting? Let's talk about Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Fat Fucking Titties Edition. So, this game is slowly growing on me, and most of it is because of how gloriously bad this dub is. Oh my god!
Are you talking about Xenoblade?
Xenoblade. It is.
Do you
rough.
Are you considering it seriously on this list? Because I have.
Oh god,
it's on there.
No. I already gave you my top 10 and 3 extras.
Yeah, you did. Okay, so there's a couple. Anything that doesn't have anybody's name next to it has not been voted. I just know that it's a popular game this year, and so I'm surprised that Splatoon 2's not up there.
Let me check my.
I didn't want my whole slate to be Nintendo Switch games, so I was like, no, I can't do it.
Okay.
But it is good. It is really good. I just don't know. God, this was such a big year.
There's a lot of stuff.
There
was a lot that came out.
I'm worried that the top 10 will be boring.
all joking aside, like, it's been a big year. Like, Hollow Knight's up there, and I'm actually impressed. And I mean, honestly, when you look at this list, we've got a lot all over the place.
Yeah,
I thought my list was the most off the beaten path, but no, we've got
it's
a pretty
kind of
decent.
It's a good eclectic mix of popular,
voices.
not popular, indie,
deep cuts.
AAA.
Yeah, it's good. I'm liking.
I think a good Nintendo revival will do that.
Fix everybody else into gear by extension.
It's like, shit, guys, we fucked up.
What did we fuck up?
No, I'm saying when Nintendo releases a game.
Yeah, Ryan, go ahead.
Unexplored and then Pokemon Ultra Sun.
What was the first one?
Just Unexplored. It's a PC game.
Unexplored?
Is that the
Explored.
Unexplored. Is that
it's like a roguelike. Like a roguelike. I can throw the Steam chat the Steam link in the chat. pretty much the only PC game I've played all year. I played a lot of it.
Okay. So here's the deal: we have a big list.
That we did.
And anything. We only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games actually, where there is more than a single vote on the game. I typed this one backwards. Jose is not the game.
I was gonna say Jose, as voted by Destiny 2, our favorite young folks writer, Destiny
2.
Put me down for Minecraft.
So, Evan, I am really glad to see that your vote for Game of the Year is Yakuza 0. Thanks, buddy. I'm glad that you finally played and enjoyed that video game.
I played it for an hour. Here. Okay,
No,
so that's enough time, right? That's ethical.
He literally
Nio.
played it.
Nio has 2 votes. Nio?
Neo?
Oh, Neo?
Yeah.
Where does Neo have 2 votes?
Yeah, Alex
Did I move
Miles.
it up?
No.
I forgot to move it up.
It's right under Middle Earth for that.
Hey,
Oh,
PlayerUnknown's
thank you.
Battleground
Hey.
PC 1 launch available in officially 3 days.
Nah, it's 3 hours.
So, as it
man.
turns out, we have
gotta
11
get through
games
this.
with at least 2 people's votes on them. We just have to determine if everything underneath
that
it
is
on
ours.
this list. What?
Nothing. I was reading this as
Hours,
3
yeah.
days.
Yeah, no, 3 hours.
I
Yeah,
don't,
that's why
I don't know
Travis has
how
to
a-
go to Best
I don't know how countdown works.
That's why I need to get me a Steam card before we're done.
Go
here.
do that.
Okay.
Go now.
Alright. Keep going, Evan.
So,
Yeah, keep going.
here's the deal. Looking at this list, we've got a big list. Do any of these things on this list, to any of you, seem like that they belong on this top 10 or 11 that we have here more than
Where's
anything else on there?
Top 4.
Battlefront 2 is nowhere to be seen on this list.
Top 10 Game of the Year.
The top 4 are like definite. Those are like
Okay.
I'm comfortable
Zelda-
with
Sonic
those
Mania
4.
2.
Sonic Mania is on there.
I'd say that the top 5 are
Yeah,
pretty
so
solid.
our top 5
Yeah.
is Sonic Mania, Persona 5, Horizon, Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild. Does that seem like...
perfect.
Okay, it's perfect. Everybody thinks that those games belong in those spots. That's not boring.
The only one I didn't play was Persona, but I'm not gonna argue.
I'd move Persona like personally higher than Horizon.
I agree.
But we can.
I haven't
I'm
played
okay.
it, but Horizon.
I haven't
good.
beat Horizon though.
We can
so.
get down to the minutia of that. We just want to make sure that
Yeah,
the list of
those
the 10
4
He's
are
trying to
definite
filter
though.
it.
I mean,
Yeah.
let's be fair. Horizon is basically like if Japan made a Zelda game.
Okay.
Japan
Wait,
makes Zelda?
Well, Japan does make Zelda. You mean white
Everything
people,
you
white
said in that
people make
sentence was wrong.
Canada.
Joel.
You mean if Canada made a Zelda game?
I award you
Yeah.
no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
On your
God,
soul. Yeah,
so
exactly.
cool. Oh, Kojima's doing a big sad right now.
Currently?
Yeah, he keeps posting stuff on Twitter. He's like, man, being a creator sucks. You're always lonely and sad and shit.
It's because he hasn't
Yeah,
eaten a
and then
baby
you put your heart
recently.
and soul into something, and then
And then
you know,
Konami
people tear it
fires
apart.
you.
Wait a minute. The last thing I see from him is a move. He bought the Deadly Mantis on DVD.
Let's see. He did do that. Go like 4 or 5 tweets down from there.
So, okay. So
Alright.
we do believe that Horizon Zero Dawn belongs on this list then, it seems, right?
Most definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Okay,
adored it. I
that
thought
high.
it was
in the
Oh yeah, top 5. The top 4 look solid. Like we can get into like how they should be arranged, but those are my top 4 as
Now,
well.
in terms of the bottom half of this top 10, or this is an 11 now because I put my name on Yakuza 0 to make Miles happy, okay?
Mhm.
So we're looking at, like, if we take this list as it is now, Yakuza 0 is number 11, 10 is Neo, Nier Automata is 9. Resident
God
Evil
bless you, you fuck. I love a top 10 list with an 11th place.
We're the nostalgia critic.
Oh,
Gonna have to
God.
kill something.
Now I can't have it be 11. Miles, we're going to have to take off Yakuza 0.
Excuse me, add it.
We'll do the rankings. Let's do the rankings individually,
How about-
and then whatever.
Why
we,
don't
like,
you just make 10 louder?
Hey, how about we separate like Hollow Knight from Sonic Mania, and that'll be like the second tier because I feel like
Yeah.
all of those have 2 votes,
God
and we
damn
haven't
it.
gotten into how those should be arranged.
Yeah, and then we'll figure out. Let's figure out the rankings, and then whatever ends up being 11, we can.
Because this one goes to 11.
Because I mean, Nier. God, I love Nier.
But wouldn't a ladder 10 just be as loud as 11? No, you don't understand.
So these go to 10.
That being said,
these go to 11.
The indie game represented, because I'm not really counting Sonic Mania, the indie game being represented on this list appears
Sonic
to be
Mania.
Hollow Knight. Do we think that is the good? That is probably the essential indie game of the year. Do we think that there's something?
Call of Duty World War II came out this year, man.
Indie.
Yeah, that indie game.
The one that I would advocate
game
for,
PUBG.
the 2 of them I'd advocate for.
Oh yeah, PUBG.
Nobody else voted for because they're terrible. So.
Which ones?
Well, I guess Sam voted for Doki Doki. Also.
Yeah. What's up with that?
What's up with Doki Doki Literature Club?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah! No, okay, Doki Doki gotta be on that list.
So Doki Doki Literature Club. Yes. Let me explain it to you the best that I can.
No, spoilers.
Okay, yeah, I am gonna spoil it, so be aware. Like, it's gonna be as vague as I can.
I forget spoilers anyway, so.
Okay, here's the thing.
Okay.
It's a dating sim that showed up online this year for free. It was free to
You have to go into this as blind as humanly possible, though. Okay,
well, if you're gonna help me defend it, we gotta explain it.
We can't rank blinds. We can't.
So it showed up. It showed up.
Allegedly,
basically, a guy who's known for modding things for Smash Bros. Just dropped this, very normal-looking dating sim, very, kind of paint by the numbers, almost too normal-looking of a dating simulator. Like, you had your waifus, it was all colorful and pink. It was one of those things where you're like, there's got to be something else going on here. And then you go into the Steam page for it, and the #1 top user tag for
rated
it
tag
is psychological horror. And you read the game description, and it says, this game is not suitable for children or anyone sensitive to uncomfortable images.
But that's the only thing. That's it's the entire description of the game is like, oh, hang out with these cool people.
Yeah, it's totally normal.
This is not a game for people who aren't into Mind Break.
Yeah, it very much. I'll pull up the Steam page just to read exactly what it says, because the way that it frames itself is also kind of the key. Like, I decided this game needed to be on here based not just on what the game was, but on the fact that it was able to generate word of mouth completely on its own.
Yep. So here's how you sell this game without spoiling anything. Hey, you know what game should be in the top 10 of the year? Doki Doki Literature Club. What do you mean you've never heard of it? Go play it.
Yeah,
it's free.
Yeah, so it says this game is not suitable for children or those who are easily disturbed. And basically the short version of it is, yes, it's a meta game. It breaks the fourth wall, but the way that it does it is not quite like the others you'd see. It's not like an Undertale kind of thing. It's not even like a Pony
That was
Island.
my first suspicion was Undertale-esque.
No,
that's not the
forget
case.
this. This is where, to fully appreciate this game, you have to know how Windows Explorer works. And it's very, very meticulously put together, and it's done in such a way that it guides the audience to all of these different kind of bizarre clues, walks them through them, and makes them a part of the fourth wall breaking process.
Yep.
And I cannot say anything more than that without fear of just blowing it out of proportion and ruining it for everybody. But to put it lightly, it's horrifying. Like, I cannot play this in the dark. I had to stop playing it and wait till the next morning to actually finish it.
Yep. Evan, that's the one I put under my special mentions.
Yeah, you did. And would you change your list to include it on a top 10 instead of something else?
I mean, I could take Call of Duty World War II off of there.
You didn't put Call of Duty World War II on there.
I mean, I have it on there 3 times, so
no.
I could probably remove one of them.
I don't think you did that.
Call of Duty World War III.
The only reason Call of Duty World War II is on here is because Grant played it.
Have you taken?
Who's Grant?
He reviewed Middle-earth Shadow of War.
Is he on here right now?
No, he's not. He was going to join later, but he hasn't messaged me yet.
When you start reading.
He's fighting in World War II.
So, I feel like Doki Doki sounds really interesting, and I'm actually maybe I'll look it up.
I highly recommend it.
That's the thing. I am curious to play it would you put it in the top 10 over any of these other games? Over Neo or Hollow Knight or Uncharted?
I'm a jerk, so yeah, I didn't play Hollow.
All right. Okay.
I did not play it either.
Real talk, I would probably put it above Neo, just because Neo is really well done, and it's a underdog story of this game has been in development hell for as long as Duke Nukem Forever was. But, I mean, it's a Souls clone. Like, it's really good, but it is most definitely a East-ass Dark Souls, which okay.
So
I've also never been, and I'm gonna take flack for this, but I've never been that into Uncharted either. And Uncharted is effectively.
I like Uncharted.
Fuck is Uncharted on this list
because it got 2 votes, and here's the
It is a standalone game. It counts.
Yeah, and so I played the first chapter of that today, and it's just more Uncharted. So
which is fine. I'm just not into it. It's not my thing.
At the cost of Yasmin being mad at me, because I know she's the one who voted for this and she adores it.
Hey, I offered for her to come on here and defend this Uncharted game to give us a good reason.
This is true. Just for the purposes of a top 10, I feel like it's still like up to expansion more than a game itself.
It would have to be really special. It would have to be.
It's just more.
It would have to be more.
It's more. I like Uncharted 4. I like Uncharted 4 a lot. I like what it did. It's just more of that with a different lead character set.
Yeah, it would have to be more than that.
I feel like the strongest thing it has going for it is that, like, you know, it is like its protagonists and exploring like the relationship between like the 2 women who are like the main characters, which I do find interesting, and I feel like we haven't gotten enough of them. But
it's also a game.
It's also I know it's also a game. It's also just more of a game we got last year.
Yeah.
So
also, she's super into Persona, like in the way that you and I are. So she'll at least be glad that that's on there.
Oh yeah. Persona's not going anywhere.
Doki Doki's super anime, so we might still get a pass.
Yeah.
It very much calls out anime tropes. It's neat.
Okay.
Beat Persona for Christ's sakes.
Getting there. I've been busy. By the way, we'll get to a Persona conversation, but holy shit!
Am I the only person who's beaten Persona?
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure Miles has been.
I just not
okay.
Time it deserves.
Evan.
Yes.
You've watched 6 hours of a garbage film in the past week. You've had time.
Moving on to the rest of the conversation.
Every single time.
Anyway.
So,
I've seen bad movies too, but I still don't have the time to commit to frickin' Persona 5.
So,
I have 90 hours.
Are we taking Neo off this list as well?
Okay.
I don't want to. Let's just make it a top 12. Like, fucking...
Top 100 list brought to you by
the rules.
Well, so here's the deal.
It's funny.
Because we swapped out Uncharted with Doki Doki Literature Club, it's still 11. So unless we want to consider something like Wolfenstein 2, or Prey, or Injustice 2, or Metroid, Night in the Woods, like
top 13.
Night in the Woods is my favorite game.
Hey Travis, haven't you played Pokemon Ultra Sun 2 and want to put it on this list?
I really wanted to avoid putting Pokemon on the list. Just because I did last year, and there's already so much Nintendo on my slate, like it was getting bad.
All right, you guys are willing to humor me. I have a pitch.
All right, go ahead.
You're looking at this list too, right?
Yes. So this is Animal Crossing Pocket Camp.
God damn it!
And it's arguably
let him do it. It's
arguably the most fun I've had with my phone in months. I mean, like it's a game where
you realize that nobody's playing it.
Well,
I'm playing it actually.
You should be. I am catching a fish.
It was great for Thanksgiving Day.
I just caught an olive flounder. I'm going to go talk to a bird, and she's going to be my friend. And I'm dressed as Santa Claus, and I'm currently building a skating pipe. I mean, like, these are the things that you can do.
Wait a minute.
For what it's worth, given this hell year that 2017 has been, I don't actually blame you for wanting to just make friends with a bird.
that's the beauty of this game. Like, you know, you play like mobile games, and they sort of like the freemium economy. It just sort of like teases you, and it's like, oh, this is a game where you do this and you do this and you do this. If only you can pay the money to make it faster and make it more epic. No, Animal Crossing is just like, listen, you love animals, you love having fun, you love having a smile on your face, and you can just do that. And then you build more stuff, and then you just make friends with more animals, and like, it doesn't actually like increase in terms of complexity or like perceived progress. It just keeps adding. It's just a continuous loop and a continuous journey of making friends.
I haven't played this game, but
yeah, see, like I appreciate that. I don't know if I could. But I appreciate that. Like, if it was a new Animal Crossing release, like, if the Switch version came out, I'd probably be like, yeah, let's do it.
Alex, I'm gonna try to reason with you here. We're gonna go through this list, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Is it better than Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon?
I mean, I haven't played it, but
I can't go with you there.
Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, there is a penguin, and his name is Tex.
Dude, have you ever seen a Mimikyu?
He calls you Picante because he's from Texas.
Alright, have you ever seen a Mimikyu?
Is it better than Ghost
or cool?
Is it
and he likes things that are cool because he's a penguin.
Is it better than Ghost Recon Wildlands?
He likes things.
Why the fuck is Ghost Recon on there? Get that shit off.
It's a fun game.
Chris,
it's a fun game.
Chris, do you have a case to make for Ghost Recon?
Yeah, it's a fun co-op game. I think it's one of the most fun co-op shooters like out there right now. Like just a straight shooter playing with like.
All right.
Fascinatingly, Fortnite's not on this list.
Hear me out.
I played a lot of Fortnite.
I haven't played this Animal Crossing Pocket Camp that he's talking about, but he's really selling me on this socialism thing. That sounds fun.
It's not Animal Crossing.
It's the means of production.
Yeah, you
use my language, comrade.
You get peaches, you get fish, you get butterflies, you give them to your friends, and then they give you steel with which you build your buildings. It's the perfect economy.
It's literally just the Silk Road with animals on your phone.
Yeah, but wait, like, don't you also still have to like get loans and stuff? Like, that's
No, you just buy furniture.
Is it Animal Crossing from
Tom Nook
don't
isn't here.
The penguins break your legs now if you don't pay?
No. There's just a little like golden retriever, and she's happy that you're taking over a business. And everyone just like when you build enough stuff, people like just hang out in your camp all day, and they give you free stuff. They just think you're an awesome person, and you just collect stuff for them, and it just keeps going. And then like every once in a while, you'll dance with them. They'll make you smoothies.
Did you get KK Slider, or did you buy it?
What?
So they somehow made Animal Crossing an easier game than it already was.
They did.
Yeah, for old people.
Like the only hard part of the game was paying debt, and they got rid of that.
Exactly. So it's a dreamland.
This is the sequel to New Leaf, where they finally overthrew Tom Nook.
I'm sorry, but this game sounds okay, but you're just describing things I can already do in Stardew Valley.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Well, can you play it on your phone?
No, but I can play it on the Switch.
Play it on the Switch, and that's only slightly bigger than my phone now.
Eventually, we will be playing. Eventually, we'll be playing Stardew Valley on our phones. Yeah.
Eventually, we'll be playing Skyrim on our phones. Let's get that shit.
Touche.
If you're smart, you already can.
Skyrim on TI-84 calculator is coming in.
I mean,
next to
Skyrim,
Bonk's Adventure.
Skyrim, the choose your own adventure books.
$100.
What things are?
Oh yeah, dude, Texas Institute.
Oh, the fucking cow! Oh, get the fuck that. Okay,
but you know it's not expensive like a TI-84 calculator. That would be Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, which is free to download on iOS and Android.
I agree.
Just so you guys know, my wife is
camp
as well.
Just every time he says it, I want to see just like $5 slowly rain down from his screen.
Wait, Travis, does your wife want to add me on Animal Crossing Pocket Camp? She can be my friend.
Animal Crossing.
She can help.
She'll add you.
She can help me go to the quarry.
She takes this game she takes Animal Crossing way seriously. Like,
I'm just saying, like, I need to get candy canes.
I'm not getting paid to push this game.
Build a snowman.
He's selling
Dude,
this fucking game.
Do you guys want to build
me
a
a minute
snowman?
to shill for Night in the Woods. I'll evangelize about that game.
Okay, he's selling this game like a fucking 90s food, like a 90s Capri Sun commercial. Did somebody say Animal Crossing Pocket Camp? I'm glad you brought up Animal Crossing Pocket Camp.
Like
Did you know it's new in Animal Crossing Pocket Camp?
I just
got the Venmo transaction from Nintendo right
in
now?
Animal Crossing Pocket Camp.
Look at it this way, Alex. Are you gonna make it through the rest of 2017 alive if somebody finds out that you managed to get Animal Crossing Pocket Camp on the top list?
Did you say Animal Crossing Pocket Camp?
Over Uncharted: The Lost Legacy?
I'm just saying, of all the things that made me happy in this year, up on near the top of that list is Animal Crossing Pocket Camp.
Edition.
Miles,
did you say Animal Crossing?
Android and iOS.
Miles, how happy did Yakuza 0 make you?
It's a very good game that you haven't played yet.
I played an hour of it.
Before going to Japan, you fuck. Now play it. You have context.
You're right. Well, actually,
I didn't get a chance. That came out around Zelda time too, so it didn't get played.
I did recognize spots of Shinjuku though.
There you go.
Yeah, man.
Playing Persona 5 post Japan trip is
I
have
yet.
Okay, I'll get right on that Japan trip.
I have yet to pick it back up. Since I.
Oh, you will adore it. You will appreciate it so much more.
I knew
it.
Like milling around Tokyo, I realized like, oh my god, the people that made this game have lived in and adore Tokyo so much. Like, it's exactly right.
Yeah.
It's
their backyard, dude.
Oh my god, it's so good. Like, Shibuya.
That's like saying,
is
wow, the guys
man.
who made Grand Theft Auto really like New York. Like, yeah. No shit.
I mean, you can appreciate an environment. Like, I appreciate that. That's a good level of detail.
I mean, dude, I even appreciated the way they redesigned Florence in Assassin's Creed 2, having never even been there, but I knew it.
Like, if Hyrule can be a good game,
damn it!
If Horizon Zero Dawn can be a good representation of like Southern Utah, which by the way it is, I can that. Why not? Why can't Persona be praised for having a good representation?
I'm sorry. I would just want to bring up the fact that Evan likes the way that fucking Florence, Italy looks in Assassin's Creed because he too is channeling his blood ancestor through his fucking Italian bloodline, and it's like, yes, something about this feels right. I can smell the fresh pizza pasta spaghetti out in the fields and.
I'm gonna say this now. I'm really fucking offended.
Bibbidi boppy! It's like I'm almost home. Hey, what's the matter you?
I'm really offended by this right now.
Yeah, wow.
Oh, it's okay. I'm Irish as shit.
That was rough.
I'm sorry.
I'm happy about the potato famine. How about that?
Oh, potato famine! Oh, did you know that? Oh, my grandfathers came off the boat screaming for potatoes. We were short of potatoes. We didn't have enough to make the whiskey. Oh, toy.
Oh man.
I don't think you make whiskey with potato.
Yeah, it's whatever. Moonshine.
What just
We couldn't afford the hooch. Oh, toy. Dude, okay.
What?
Like, my lineage... No. My lineage is Irish and Welsh. My ancestors raped the shit out of each other.
Okay, so there's... You know, like, where there isn't any, like, potato famines, is actually on the shores of the beach in Animal Crossing Pocket Camp.
Okay, alright. I love the idea that the reason he's pushing this so hard is Nintendo is starting up some sort of cryptocurrency called bells. And every time he kills this fucking game, you hear you see like
11,000
bells deposited by Tom Nook, and he's like, "Yes, I did it again!"
So, Ghost Recon Wildlands.
Yeah, let's move on. Defend Ghost Recon against Animal Crossing.
So, if you want to play a co-op game, that's like
the lightsabers are going down.
God damn it! I'm sorry. I'm
listening, Chris. I'm listening.
The fucking top 10 goddamn games list has a fucking mobile cash grab.
Except it's not making any money.
It's making a fuck ton of money. What are you,
making
crazy?
no money.
It doesn't want to make you money. It just wants to make you happy. That's why it's
through your wallet.
That's how they suck you in. It's like Amazon. It's like, oh, everything's cheaper here, and then they
there you go. Exactly.
Okay. Okay.
Ghost Recon. Let's have a serious conversation.
Can I make a suggestion? Can we put malware bytes on the best games list, please?
Malware bytes, the antivirus program.
You know what?
Yeah, I've had a lot of fun with that game.
Can I get ESPN Fantasy Football up there now?
I'd like my girlfriend to be the top 10 video game.
You open this.
You know what? You know what's a great game?
I mean, you guys act like I'm joking, but I seriously love Animal Crossing.
He's
Pocket edition.
And
I'm literally playing it right now. I'm not even trying to.
I want to hear.
Yeah. So do we have?
I vote Rock Paper Scissors should be voted Game of 2017.
Guys, we're already going to be in trouble with the internet because we don't have Cuphead in our top 10. So why not
let's
Sorry, none of us are fascists.
Okay, let's strongly consider. Is this going to be a troll list then?
No.
Okay, so why is Animal Crossing?
We legitimately don't like Cuphead.
I seriously like, and I'm okay with Cuphead being on the top 10. I feel like it has such like its art style alone, and like the commitment those guys had to really carrying out their vision, I think is inspiring. I think it's sad that it's sort of been glommed onto.
Super accidentally racist.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's based on the 30s, and I feel like
no. The art style was deliberately pulled from some of the most racist cartoons.
Yeah, the history on that is it is, but I mean, it's one of those things where it's like Horizon. Horizon has a problem with this too. They borrow native language and terminology without context.
Yeah,
and it's just like, how hard would it have been to ask anyone with a cultural background that could comment on that further?
Focus testing. I mean, it doesn't have to be as bad as Illumination films, but focus testing is a thing that does work.
Yeah, you should be doing that. Absolutely.
Okay.
Like
again,
that was a big problem I had with Horizon.
So the art style itself is pulled from bad, spooky, old racist cartoons. But it's not being used in a racist context. It's not like they're repurposing it and saying, "Oh, get them, do it, the bad." It's like they're taking art assets and flipping them for a child's thing.
I get what you're saying, but it's just
simple.
like when you as soon as you're borrowing an art style, like you're opening yourself up to that criticism. And you either address it or you take it. Like I think that's fair. I think that goes across for anything. Like if you're gonna borrow that art style and you're not gonna do your history check good enough, that sounds like a D&D roll.
I'd like to roll for initiative
or take the shit for it.
That's the wrong show.
Yeah, that's the wrong show.
But basically, it seems like that there's other platformers that we like better.
Sonic Mania is absolutely perfect for what it was trying to be.
You're right. Getting over it with Bennett Foddy is the game of the year.
But how about Animal Crossing?
Yeah, how about that?
Okay, are we seriously? Is everybody has to say yes to Animal Crossing being on this?
You know what? Fuck it. Yes.
I can't do it.
No. I vote Animal Crossing as game of the year, not as one of the game of the year. Number one with a bullet. Fuck all of you.
How about this? I'll download it now, and by the end of the podcast...
Yeah, I just want to say, if everyone just downloads...
I want in on this money scam.
Wait, when it finishes downloading, listen for the Venmo transaction to his account.
Yeah.
I love your emphasis on camp.
Shiggy diggy doggy, you out there, my friend? I want in on this.
I really do want to hear, because Grant, I'm getting them all. I was just talking to Grant in chat, sorry. Chris wants to defend his game, for crying out loud. Let him defend his
please let
game.
him defend Ghost Recon Wildlands and let's figure it out if it's...
I mean, it's not Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I've talked a lot. I've talked a lot about Animal Crossing.
Has anybody
other people need to have their shit. Yeah.
Has anybody played Ghost Recon Wildlands here?
No, I haven't.
Okay, I've watched.
I feel like it slid under the radar.
I watched Tyler play it.
It started with it had a rocky start because the servers were all messed up, which multiplayer game doesn't. But when it came out, it was just a pure co-op shooter game where it was like you could kind of just have like an 80s action movie adventure with friends. It wasn't necessarily a game that was like a crazy interesting story, but it lent itself to crazy situations just because of the nature of the game. Think GTA, but like militarized.
It sounds better than The Division.
Yeah, that's immediately what I thought of. Was the Division came out at the same time last year.
Think Division gunplay, like so, very crisp shooter with mercenaries environment. Like remember those mercenary games?
Oh yeah,
go anywhere and do whatever you want.
Pandemic make those?
Yeah.
So
back in the day.
I missed Pandemic.
Oh no, you didn't.
Like one of my favorite moments in that game was me and my friend literally going into a building, grabbing like a high value target, having an entire army come and try and kill us, like pulling him out of the building while you're just killing, just hundreds of fake enemies basically, getting him into a helicopter, then flying away and getting chased by other helicopters and just sniping like anything that moved. But it was also hard. You died a lot. You died a lot in the game, which was fun. It didn't seem like too easy. Where it was like, oh, you could just kill everyone. I was like, you get shot, you're basically out of health. I haven't played the multiplayer, so I don't know how that is. But I feel like the game itself was more meant to just be a co-op shooter.
Okay, so you would think that this succeeds as a multiplayer cooperative experience than say doing a 2-player team up on PUBG.
Yeah, I feel like it's not really like. Everything has to have multiplayer now. I feel like it kind of got pressured into having a multiplayer because everyone wanted it.
Yeah.
But when the game came out, it was just pure. Let's have a fun co-op shoot 'em up, which I don't know. We're missing. It's not necessarily couch co-op, but it's the closest thing we're gonna get to that, where you just go around and shoot enemies with your friends.
Oh wait, holy shit! Wait a minute. This has the Predator in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on. Is this like a free update, or was this a thing you had to buy?
Which? In
the Predator stuff.
I think he came in recently, but they had a DLC that was basically like a Vietnam playthrough. It was really cool.
Holy shit!
Like you just put on Credence and it would just be like you're just like, this is awesome, this is fun.
Dude, the Predator being in there is a huge draw.
I would say that if you're gonna play the game, it's probably on sale at some point. Get a friend.
It drops immediately.
Just find a friend or two. Like you can play up to 4, I think. With 3, and just go out and there's no rules. You can go kill the biggest value target or just random people, and it's just you build up your own arsenal. It's fun in that sense. And you
it looks promising. It looks a bit like the old Far.
Yeah, it's
it looks like original Far Cry
2. Higher def Far Cry 2.
2 of the positive reviews on Steam have both mentioned how it wasn't made by EA.
Hey, that's fair. That's a fair point.
I mean, what a fucking low bar.
Pretty good draw.
The year of the loot box.
I know it's not going to be a top 5 game on most people's list, but I thought it was something different and old school, but new and refreshing.
Hard to beat Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, though.
Hold on, I just got $5 for that.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, the only other game that I could say, the Predator's in it, that could beat that is freaking Hellboy being in Injustice 2. You got to pay for that.
Bigfoot's in this game. You can find Bigfoot. It's a very long and crazy process.
Ryan, do you have any case to make for Injustice 2, or do you think the microtransactions on their own are enough to keep it from being on here?
Are you asking me? I've never played that game.
I'm sorry, Travis.
Okay, so here's the thing. I don't know how many of you follow me on Twitter, but I want you to be abundantly clear here. This game didn't stand a chance when I got the review for it. I was dunking on this game from the second it was announced to the day it was released, basically. Not just because of the microtransactions, but I have how some people hate Konami, I hate Warner Brothers at this point. They've just screwed up so much with things that I genuinely love and enjoy. And screw them. And then, there's the microtransactions. There's the season pass they announced before. There's no way that's real. There's no way that's freaking real. Anyway, sorry, that distracted me.
As it should.
There was the microtransactions, there was the season pass, there was the multiple freaking editions. This thing literally didn't stand a chance as far as my, freaking stuffy critic behavior could possibly handle. And holy shit, did they make one hell of a good game. Like, this is the kind of game where you can not only tell the microtransactions were forced in later on, the developer said, yeah, go to hell, we're going to buy them. I've played tons of this game, and not once have I ever been prompted to spend a dime. It doesn't even tell you you can. And the reason for that is actually a single-player mode. So, as you can kind of see in that video that he's playing right now, you can see that the characters are customizable. Sorry, like I said, voice is giving out. Characters are customizable. You get these gear pieces through gameplay, through boxes and stuff, and you can customize colors and equipment, and they give you different buffs and things in different modes. Not in, like, tournament play, though. They separated that. But because of those things, and it's a freaking DC game, they came up with a mode called Multiverse, where basically it's the old school Mortal Kombat tower system, where it's like, oh, here's X amount of, characters or whatever, go beat them up. With the hook being that you're going to different universes, so every time you fight a character, they will be wearing different equipment. Even if you quit and go back into the fight, they will be wearing different equipment. So they're always a different character. And as you play these multiverse modes, just at your leisure, they're constantly refreshing online. Some of them drop special loot. You'll usually if you do like a 5-man multiverse play, you'll walk out with at least 3 of those precious loot boxes they want you to spend money with. You will load up so quickly on these customizable parts that spending money is actually detrimental to the game. Not just in we want more money, but in you're going to have more gear than you handle. The game gives you more than enough. Even the DLC has been good enough to justify it, because the actual in-game character roster was awesome from the start. And then it's only gotten better. Freaking, like I said, Hellboy's in it. That's dope. You can just buy Hellboy if you want. That's fine. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are coming. That'll be neat. And I can't believe that that's a thing that's happening. No, everything about this game, the story was great, the multiplayer's great, all the characters play really well, they're very unique, it really actually kind of relishes being a comic book game, and the microtransactions are like, they're not there. Like, it can't be my favorite game just by default, because Warner Brothers screwed it up for them, but considering this thing had an anchor tied around its neck and thrown into the ocean, it completely won me over, and I just couldn't believe it.
I'm really bummed that the story mode kind of tanked what they were doing in the comics.
I get that.
Well, so the Injustice comics are like shockingly good.
Yeah, they're surprisingly good for what is a fairly dumb concept.
Absolutely have no reason for the comics to be as good as they are. Even the story mode for Injustice was really good. And then the second one just felt like fuck.
Like, it's fine.
Steve!
Again, it's more about the characters this time, I will admit, but
Yeah.
I thought it was perfectly fine. Like, I seriously can't stress enough just how much this game kind of warmed my cold, icy, bitter heart.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Can I put .hack GU on here? I mean, technically, part of the game isn't a rehash.
No.
No. So, okay, .hack GU has a special place in my heart because they go, hey, yo, remember how we made 3 .hack games on the PS2 and we really wanted to make a 4th one, but we didn't
and they were all terrible.
They were. So, my favorite thing is that they re-release the 3 games in a package, and then once you beat all 3 of them, the secret bonus ending to this trilogy package is they made a 4th game and hid it in the goddamn. So once you beat the first 3, you unlock the 4th game that's completely new, and they just surprise, motherfucker. It's great. More games need to have a secret other game hidden in them.
I can at least respect that.
Imagine if you got the Mega Man Legacy Collection and you beat every single Mega Man game that goes, hey, you just unlocked Mega Man 11.
So I think
Cool.
I might be able to get Grant in here. I think his microphone's working.
Let's do it.
Let me
Let's
just
do
make
it.
Also,
sure that I
Mega Man 11 is a real thing. Please do not stop being hype for that.
Oh no, heck no! But this
yeah,
is
no.
the end of the year, not the beginning of the new one. I can do both.
So
Anyway,
we got Grant. And
Are we
got
really
Justin
putting?
here.
Are we really putting Animal Crossing at the top?
We will get there. Hold on.
Nope. You know what? Just
Like Breath of the Wild wasn't my favorite. God
Fuck it.
sakes!
No. I am 110% down for Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. Thank you. To be Game of the Year #1 for all years forever. I hope they come out with an expansion pack so I can do it again next year.
I hope they make me pay for it so I can rebuy the game and play it again.
I hope they port it to the Switch so I can buy it again.
I hope they make a simpler version so I can pay for that and play that too.
Oh my God.
Well, so that's the thing, is that you don't pay
It's just
for Animal
one
Crossing
button.
Pocket Camp. You just
Did
hold down
you
the
say
screen.
Animal Crossing Pocket Camp?
I
Say
did
that 10
say
times real quick.
Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. I mean, like, just here's back right here. So this is Tex. He is a
God
penguin
damn it.
from Texas.
I befriended Tex actually. He's a pretty solid dude.
Dude, he's the best. Like his arms, or shall I say, his flippers are too short. So normally when he gives you applause, he doesn't clap. He slaps his belly.
So he's just
And
here.
I mean,
He's very self-conscious about that. You shouldn't bring it up.
No, but he embraces
He's
it. And I
flipperphobic.
embrace him. He is my best friend,
And
Tex.
I
And
embrace him.
I embrace Tex. Like he is the best person in this game. I feel like he is the greatest character of 2017. Nobody else has made me as happy.
Oh, damn it.
Dude, man,
Bro, guy.
dude.
Man,
I'm
now
not your
You
buddy,
need to go
guy.
play Night in the Woods if you need.
Rest in peace.
If you need animal characters to make you feel like you're being resonated with,
Can you dress like Santa Claus or Guy Fieri?
you could dress like Witch Dagger.
But
We
can you
could
dress like
be
Guy
like
Fieri?
Why would you want to?
Why wouldn't
Why
you?
would anybody want any?
Because he's the
anything
last
close to
famous
the
cook
words
who is
Guy Fieri
also a
added.
sex
I
pervert.
I
Because
went
it's a
to
game where you collect a bunch of fruit and fish, and so you take all these animals to Flavor Town. You know what I mean?
hey. I went to Guy Fieri's American Grill in the Cancun airport, and they had an awesome macaroni and cheeseburger.
Good. I'm glad.
All right,
Yes. Listen to me. This top 10 list. Wait. Imagine all the goodness of a cheeseburger with more cheese and like a thicker layer of cheese. It's great.
Oh no,
So-
that sounds like a nightmare. I'm
That
sorry.
sounds like
imagine
Red
It's
Robin's-
amazing. It
So
holds
if that
the cheese.
meal was made into a game, it would be
Hamburger
Animal
macaroni
Crossing
and cheese.
Pocket Camp.
Oh my God, what a
Think-
disaster!
I'm putting my foot
Gooey
down. Animal
cheese.
Crossing is not going to the top.
But where is
You know,
Guy
it's
Fieri's
number one.
American Grill
Hey,
on this list?
I'll be the second vote for Night in the Woods.
I'll be the first one.
A live stream of it, so it counts.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
No.
Yeah.
Animal Crossing Pocket Camp #1.
I feel like I started
Best game
something.
forever.
No, it's my turn to show for an animal game that cry
Okay,
and stay up
okay.
at night.
Before we
Jesus.
do that, everybody welcome Justin and Grant to the chat.
Hey, Justin.
Hello,
Hey,
guys.
Hey, Justin Grant.
Welcome to the
Okay, first
Welcome
of
to
all,
this
can you guys hear me?
nightmare.
Welcome to the Animal
Yeah, we
Crossing
can.
Pocket Camp
Okay.
Schiltfest.
You gotta give it to Animal Crossing, though. It's
Oh, shit. Oh my god, is there gonna be an upset tonight? Oh my
Hey,
god.
hold on. Justin, are you throwing in for Animal Crossing?
Don't let this
Do it! Do it!
do it.
The horror guy.
I played
by
the
way.
original
It's
GameCube.
Golden
I've
State.
seen the app game. I will throw a little extra vote, but it is not Game of the Year.
Game of the Year!
It is
Thank
not
you.
Game of the Year,
He
but
said
it is
Game of
a
the-
good game.
Wait.
He said Game of the Year!
He said Game of the Year
He said
and
Game
Animal
of the Year.
Crossing in the
He
same
said,
sentence.
he said Game of the
Animal
Year and
Crossing.
Animal Pocket Camp in the same sentence. This
If
is
Golden
It is not,
Go to
not
it!
happening, but it's a good game.
This
Nope,
is like
Game
Golden
of the
State
Year all
blowing a
year.
3-1 lead. It's a miracle.
This is such an upset. Hey guys, we
What
have
did I
a
come
full
into?
list. We have a full list of games that we want to be Game of the Year, and it ends with, "Are you fucking kidding me?" This is the. This is
That's
the
how I
US
feel right now.
This is the U.S. election of fucking top 10 lists. What
You remember it was like La La Land actually? Like it'd be
Yeah,
Breath of the Wild. Guys, sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
Wild.
I will
It's
tell you right
Animal
now, we are
Crossing
going to get shit on
Pocket
if it's
Camp.
not Breath of the
You want a more apt analogy? There is no way that Animal Crossing Pocket Camp could ever possibly be the president of the United States. There's just no way. He's
I don't know, the way
behind
that
like
it's stealing
90
this
points.
election right now.
The election did make me happy. Animal Crossing Pocket Camp makes me happy.
Because I am living in Death Stranding right now. That's what.
Yeah, he's just gonna vomit a tiny Tom Nook. And then just immediately age.
What have I done to myself?
You let this happen.
I've never seen a more broken man than ever. Right
And
now.
this is all your fault. Alright.
You're right. I incentivized it.
You said it was a battle royale.
I hate
said,
this. But
you said this was a battle royale, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna come in swinging with my underdog, all of my dogs, like Cherry, Goldie, and Tex. He's not a dog, but he's a dog in my heart.
Your
And so
sled
I'm
dog keep just ran
fighting
off a cliff.
for Animal Crossing.
Alright, no, this is real. I'm sending Tyler money now. I'm having him cast his vote for Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. I'm rigging the vote. I am Russia in this situation.
no, this, we are not. Okay, I will not abide the top Nintendo game on this list not being
No, not
Mario
top
or
Nintendo
Zelda.
game. The game of the year is
That's not helping.
Pocket
No.
Camp. It's gonna get a sticker on the App Store. Fucking.
No, it is not.
No,
This needs to be stopped right now.
Animal Crossing.
Let's put a
is your
stop
new
to this.
WWE
Nope.
World
I
Heavyweight
think
Champion.
if that
Yeah.
ever happened, I would just.
Man, Animal
Stop
Crossing
living.
Pocket Camp is such an asshole in the debates, am I right?
It's the heel of all video games.
it is. It's fucking Roman Reigns right now.
Roman Reigns.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I have no idea who that is.
I'm sorry that my love for Animal Crossing Pocket Camp has.
God, now I've got to defend Breath of the Wild. It was like no.
I never said Animal Crossing Pocket Camp should be Game of the Year. I do believe it could be number 10.
My God, he's turning into Jake Gyllenhaal from Nightcrawler.
Yeah, he's
Now we're
gaslighting
just-
us now.
See, we already got Animal Crossing in the top 10. Now we're just figuring out why. it should be
No. Animal Crossing Pocket Camp.
Yeah, thank you. You gotta have the
I'm not,
camp
I'm not doing
That's
this.
specific
I'm not
enunciation of
I
it.
Okay,
refuse.
we need to
Move it along.
All right, okay.
Move it along.
We
Yeah.
need to tighten the sphincter of a dumpster fire right now. Justin,
Too late.
do you have any game that you want to defend on this list today?
Okay, we need a survival horror game, and if out of all the games that are out there, Resident Evil 7.
No.
We put Doki Doki Literature.
You want survival horror. Do you know what's
That's really a real.
Have you played
Do you know what's really, really genuinely terrifying? Running out of bells in Animal Crossing Pocket Camp.
I'm gonna mute him. Good lord. What is happening?
dear God.
What chaos is this? Anyway,
Okay,
What
all
have I
right. So
done?
we got RE7 on the list, which is good.
Yeah.
It's just not in the top 5, but we can get to that later.
RE7's a good. It's good. It's good. I enjoyed it.
Apparently, the new DLC is good. I've heard that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna argue for it.
I mean, I never played RE7, but I do appreciate that it took the series sort of back to its roots.
I played the
Just
demo.
being-
I played the demo in PSVR, and that was solid.
Yeah, that
I
game
think
fucking
that's-
traumatized
if it can
me.
make VR good, then
Because the problem with I didn't touch Resident Evil 6. It looked like a dumpster fire. It got like
that's
I
a good
enjoyed. I
Excuse
enjoyed
me.
5, and like 5 was a lot of fun and it was actiony.
I'm sorry. No. Resident Evil Giraffe Blowjob is a fucking awful, abysmal video game.
That's
What
what
did you
it's
call it?
What?
It's what the
Resident
it's
Evil
what
or-
the number 6 looks like.
That's what the
Look
six
Hang on.
looks like.
Okay.
Oh no!
Hang on.
Don't do it. Don't send it.
Don't send us pictures of giraffe
dear
blowjob.
God.
Do
Don't
not
send
Google.
it.
Giraffe
Move
Do
on.
not Google
Blowjob.
Jurassic.
I'm fine. I'm fine. Personally,
I like having Resident Evil 7 in the top 10.
I'm not against it.
I will say this about
I'm not
RE7
against it.
that the fact it exists in VR, the full game, I don't want to play it in VR because it was already terrifying enough.
Yeah, God, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, screw that. But yeah, it was very good. I was captivated by the story, and I haven't been captivated by a Resident Evil story since 4. So
That's
Not
good
even
enough to
5. Where
I mean,
you play as
I love
diversity
5.
higher.
The
5
story
is
was
double
God, he
fun.
sent it.
Yeah.
God, he sent it.
Resident Evil 5 is like the Army of Darkness to the Evil Dead of like that series.
Yeah, but that's why
But
it's the best one.
But then like RE6 just it just.
I didn't bother with RE6.
No.
RE6 tried to appeal to everybody, and it ended up becoming like a dumpster fire where it was trying to be like a military game.
I'm glad that this is phrase of the night, by the way. It's dumpster fire.
Hey man, at least somebody got a huge kick out of RE6, and I think it might have been the giraffe.
Grant, is there any game that you don't see on this list and it's killing you on the inside?
No, actually, the games I sent to you in private message are the only 8 games I played this year.
Okay.
Yeah. Some of them I haven't even been able to complete fully, but I think I've gotten enough.
Yeah, it's a commitment.
Yeah, that's fair.
Again, keep in mind, this is not including re-releases. Otherwise,
Like
this
6
top
games.
10 would just be a list of everything Platinum's ever put out.
And Nintendo Switch games.
We're talking
And Nintendo Switch,
I'm gonna put Kingdom
And
Hearts
Nintendo
2 on
Switch
there,
games.
but, the PS4 update came out this year. But anyway, my number 1 game of the year is Wolfenstein 2.
Yeah, and
Fair.
Tyler said the same, and so now I have to ask the question: does Wolfenstein 2 belong on this list?
Yeah, fuck Nazis.
Yeah,
I mean, okay.
Absolutely, it does.
I'm not gonna argue with that.
Right now.
It is a very good game. I will say my all-time favorite journalistic piece about it came from what was it? PC Gamer, where they're explaining Wolfenstein, a game about killing Nazis, is from a long series of Wolfenstein games aimed about killing Nazis, and like constantly reminding people that nope, it's not that killing Nazis is a bad thing. It's just that Nazis got popular again. It's like, God fucking.
I did not see that
big old
coming.
Vice, like there was like a 30-minute Vice news expose about like Bethesda dealing with that and everything.
Yeah. God.
Oh,
It sounds like something Vice would cover.
Like it was actually done pretty well because like for the first time in all, Pete Hines was like talking sense. Like he was saying words and they were the right words and they made sense. Where like they asked him, he's like, "How do you feel about playing this game because of this?" He's like, "Fuck." I was like, finally you stop talking out of your ass.
I genuinely think that 2017 and 2018 is proof that we are in the darkest possible timeline.
It's true.
Or the
Like-
dankest.
Okay, even if Nazis won and we were in a Nazi fucking dictatorship, we would still have video games about killing Nazis, and it would probably take less offense. Like, God fucking damn it.
Are you talking about a Philip K. Dick thing?
Yes, the Knight in the High Tower. Man in the High Tower.
Not even close.
Man, the Knight in the High Tower.
Man in the High
Angled?
Castle.
The Dark Man in the High Tower. No,
Angled?
that's the Dark Tower. No.
That's Stephen King.
What? No, that's Stephen Colbert. That's completely different.
Rapunzel, let down your long hair.
Okay,
All
all right.
So this list is getting longer.
This list,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
list suddenly became longer, and we need to figure out. So I'm just gonna go from, because this is now a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. This is a 16 game list all of a
It's gonna
sudden.
be 2018 by the time we figure out the
Perfect.
top 10.
No,
No,
publish
okay.
it. Just-
We are gonna.
done.
Okay, nope. So
18 games.
we're gonna start here. Injustice 2, is it better than Pokemon?
I'm gonna say
No.
yes, and that's like blasphemy, but yeah, I'm gonna say yeah.
Is it better than Ghost Recon?
I mean, I'm still gonna say yes, but somebody else say something.
Chris?
I'll say yes.
I like Ghost Recon.
That's
do
two.
you think that Injustice 2 could, based on what Travis has told us?
Well, here, I'll make it interesting. Travis, like, what separates Injustice 2 from like basically every other like Mortal Kombat and other fighting game we've had lately? Because Grant was telling me on like why the new Ghost Recon was sort of fresh.
Okay, so one thing is just the simplicity of the control. Injustice genuinely feels like the kind of fighting game that you could hand to a fan of DC games or a fan of DC comics, which they still exist despite the movie's best efforts. You can hand them and say, "Hey, play this game with me," and they're going to be easy. It's going to be easy for them to pick up the controls, to get familiar. There's going to be a character that they like. There's going to be equipment that they like if they want to use it. They don't have to. They balanced it pretty well.
So it's the most accessible. It's the most accessible since MK9, probably.
Absolutely, but to compare it to MK9 and MKX, MKX doesn't have a dedicated block command.
It's hold back.
Well, yeah, like it's a hold back, but there's anything more than that. With Injustice 2, because there are juggles built into the game, they balanced it out so you also have recoveries out of like getting hit up. You have recoveries out of juggling. You have ways to basically break cycles that in Mortal Kombat games would normally get exploited. And that goes a long way to being both accessible and balanced. There's still quite a bit you can fighting game. You put in enough commands and you're going to get something. But I do feel like it's the kind of game you can play, put it down for a little bit, come back to. You're still going to enjoy it. You're still going to find things to play because, again, that multiplayer is going to refresh. The multiplayer modes are good. The
FGC has almost all but like disbanded because it's got the fucking arena stage hazards.
I love the stage hazards.
It adds a little bit of diversity into the combat.
It sets it apart.
I think it's great, but
like I don't want it to be Street Fighter.
That's the thing, is that it has to be based on skill, and when all of a sudden, stage hazards, people get all fucking upset about it.
Well, people got upset about tripping in Smash Brothers Brawl, too.
For the
second that you can't make it competitive, somebody's going to complain, but the fact
that
if it's designed to be what they wanted it to be, which is you feel like you're as powerful as a DC superhero, and it accomplishes that.
Yeah, and let's be clear, I mean, when you game, the stage hazards exist, but they are one time. They can be played into, and they can be played again. Just the fact that you can hit a trigger and roll out of any situation, including stage hazard, adds a completely another level of control and avoidance and blocking that just you don't find in other games.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm all for stage hazards. I'm just saying that like your big tournaments and fight game community gets like really upset when it's not just vanilla bland training stage. The goddamn
yeah. Well, I don't know. I think the tournament has been fairly exciting. I mean, the CW just you aired an entire tournament live, like in prime time.
No shit.
Yeah,
cool actually.
For Injustice 2, that's where they debuted the Atom and everything. Like it's definitely got players. It's got people who like it, and I mean it's not going to be Street Fighter. I mean I can't believe Street Fighter 5 thing anyway. Jesus.
They're releasing like a 12-game collection. Like
yeah. But like I had problems with Street Fighter 5. Like it played really. On the other hand, Injustice 2 has a whole game there, plenty to do, and I mean, I love it. I'm being brought a muffin. Yay! But yeah, I adored it. It was really, I guess at the end of the day, it feels like I'm taking action figures and hitting them against each other, and I'm getting that experience, and somehow against literally all odds, that didn't get caught.
Cool. All right. I'm just trying to figure. We'll probably end up bumping it up a little bit on the list, but let's just kind of work backwards because
fight it out. I think I'm the only one who played it.
Yeah. Well, I've played a little bit of the story mode, so that's all I've got to go off of. But it sounds accurate. But Wolfenstein 2, going back up to this chunk here, should this be a top 5 game?
No.
I
mean, if it wasn't for its radical beliefs that Nazis should be shot.
Besides
I mean,
that.
Good lord.
Well, I mean, I like Sonic Mania.
Yeah.
But it was lower on my list.
Yeah, I'm looking at that one too.
I could swap.
That's the only one where I'm like, that can be lower for me.
Sonic Mania could be lower. I think everybody would feel that. It just ended up that high because
it's enough a good game.
Because it had the most votes.
Right.
Yeah.
It had more votes than the rest of these. So I'm trying to think. Like, it's probably lower than Wolfenstein, probably lower than Hollow Knight, probably lower than Resident Evil.
I mean, okay, let's be real. This is the first good, not okay, not Sonic game in 10 years?
But does being a good Sonic game like automatically mean that this game is like one of the games of the year?
No, but
I mean, I loved it, but I don't know if I'd put it in the top 5. I didn't put it in the top 5.
What was the last great Sonic game? Was that Sonic Colors?
Sonic Advance.
I don't even know if people. I don't even think people would consider Sonic Colors great.
I know a lot of.
I think it's
would.
mixed.
A lot of people really love Sonic Colors.
But like with Sonic, because so many of the games have been bad, do you think that just because it's passable is great enough for its?
It's definitely not passable. It is good. It's
Mania.
Just a matter
The
of,
thing
are
about
we comparing
Mania.
it to the other ones.
Let's be fair here. Passable on the Sonic grading curve.
I mean,
means that it's the best game that's come out in years.
I mean, okay. Here's another thing. This might be a controversial hard take, but like, I kind of resent Sonic Mania because I want Sonic to just die.
Yeah.
So playing off of...
I really do. Like, I'm sorry. I feel like the fan base has gotten a little toxic. The games I've never.
A little.
Yeah. That's just, you know.
He's being kind.
It's like
I'm being kind.
Very kind.
And I just feel like all the games are just like appealing to that audience and somehow still getting made. And I feel like Sega just hasn't learned, like, you can let it go, or like come back when you feel like passionate about it again. I don't feel like nobody's been.
What are they gonna do?
Okay, so
what are they gonna? So what do you want them to do? Do you want them to like start making Alex Kidd games again? This is all
that would actually be no.
Actually, yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
Okay, but
bring back Shinobi.
Sega was like, you know, involved with Persona 5, and I love Persona 5 is probably my number one.
Let's be real.
What did they do for Persona?
I think they just published it or distributed, but like they're still involved. They're still doing other things other than Sonic.
Yeah, they own Atlas now. Their hands are all over it.
Sega has put a huge push on PC games. Like they're beginning to push over a lot of their old shit. Sega just came out with not just came out, but they've been porting all of their like top Mega Drive games to the PC on Steam. Like this really beautiful packaging. Like they're still got stuff. They're still making an effort. You got to commend them for it.
Yeah. So the thing, Alex, you said about like I just want Sonic to die. The thing that really got me about Mania, and I put this in my review too, is Sonic Mania shows up and asks the question that everybody has kind of secretly asked. Why do we have Sonic games? Why was this ever good? Because it's been so long.
It kind of it was always a antithesis to Mario kind of marketing.
But
then you play Mania and you see the clever design, the very specific music, the very specific art style, the pacing of the gameplay, that kind of trial and error stuff that you don't necessarily see in a Mario game or even in Cuphead. It's very specific to Sonic as a character. And when you see somebody who actually has passion, like Sonic Team has had a bucket on their head, bonking around trying to figure out what they're doing. But the guys who actually made Sonic Mania are...
Christian Whitehead and all them,
Yeah, they're passionate. They're passionate, talented, young developers. And they got to run wild, and they did a great job. It gets a little kind of over the top towards the end, but again, it's a Sonic game that actually fits that kind of 90s.
I mean, I do appreciate that it's basically like it's a story of like these plucky underdogs who like showed Sonic Team how to actually make their game.
Yeah, I hope they kept those guys on retainer. By the way.
Yeah,
good. Have they confirmed that they're making a sequel?
In the top 10, but I want to see it lower, I think.
Yeah, so that's as the main other indie game being Hollow Knight.
Here's a great story about Sonic Mania. Like, one of the guys who is part of the Sonic Mania team is this guy named Simon Tomley. When the Game Boy Advance port of the original Sonic the Hedgehog game, which I argue that port is the worst Sonic the Hedgehog game ever made. He came out. The Sega claimed that they couldn't get Sonic the Hedgehog, the original Sonic the Hedgehog, to run on a Game Boy Advance, and he said, "Fuck you." And he made his own port of Sonic the Hedgehog 1 for the Game Boy Advance and published it on his website, and it was infinitely better than the piece of garbage that they put out.
I will say...
And they signed him on for Sonic Mania. He's responsible for a lot of the stuff in Sonic Mania, along with Christian Whitehead.
Mm-hmm. Sonic attracts some fucking diehard fans, and I could not tell you why.
That's fandom.
It's furries.
It's
no.
Like, I mean, you'll find that everywhere.
It's DeviantArt.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Furries is a sizable amount of the Sonic fandom,
and it's fine.
Like, and die-hard Catholics. But there's a big Jesus community.
Are you sure about that?
I am.
No, that he's not wrong, but
Evan,
we don't have the
I
time
am
to delve into that.
alarmingly sure that. Yeah. Okay. So anyway,
So Sega,
would anybody like some inside information on Sonic fans? My sister worked on a Sonic comic book.
Oh, that's right. She did. She worked for Archie.
Yes. Oh my God, she worked for Sonichu?
She worked for the Sonic comic at Archie as a book editor. And
shit.
Yeah, she did.
She had to look. She had to go through the fan mail some days, and she come back scarred.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm like, so what is it? A bunch of kids? She goes, no. There's maybe like 1 or 2 kids letters. The rest are like, I think Sonic should be with this one. You should kill or fight me. Or
okay, hang on. Does the name Ken Pendleton sound familiar? Does that ring a bell?
Maybe.
We'll have to ask her, Chris.
Yeah.
For the sake of this list and this podcast moving forward, in fact, it needs to end because we need to eat at some point.
Food's not an option.
Well, food is always an option in Animal Crossing Pocket Camp.
I'm with him.
Where you can collect fruit and fish every 2 hours.
By the way, can I hijack this podcast with something?
Is it Animal Crossing?
Animal Crossing Pocket Camp?
Go ahead, Ryan.
Well, we're on the subject of Sega, and if you've gotten this far without us, through us screaming for an hour like Sam Kinison about goddamn Animal Crossing, if you are listening to this and you are thinking of buying one of those Sega Genesis @Games things for Christmas for one of your loved ones, for the love of God, don't. Please don't.
Things?
You see them all. They're those plug and play Sega Genesis games.
Oh yeah,
Path and Beyond. Those are trash. Please do not buy them for your relatives.
Instead, go out and murder a stranger to get them a Nintendo SNES Classic.
Or yeah, that is preferable to buying Sega Genesis things.
Okay, so
looking at this list. Looking at this list from Animal Crossing down to Wolfenstein, I feel like
I like Animal Crossing down implies that it's at number 1 as it should be because Animal Crossing Pocket Camp is a truly
Wolfenstein.
I feel like all those names are good and should stay there, and then we need to add on to that.
Take Animal Crossing.
Sonic Mania.
No.
7,
Hold on.
Nier Automata.
Back up.
Should be added to it.
Okay, let's get a little hardcore here. Really? So we have Mario Odyssey and Persona beneath Breath of the Wild.
Beneath Animal Crossing Pocket Camp.
Okay.
I'm personally, I enjoy.
Evan, I want to tell you, I want to make the top 10 first, and then argue about the placement, because I feel like that. See, like the thing is, for me, Breath of the Wild, Persona 5, and Mario Odyssey are all like games of the year on their own. The fact that we have all three, we're spoiled for choice. I'm comfortable for any of them being arranged anyway.
I completely concur with that.
I feel like we can save that discussion towards the end. I want to get the top 10, so then at least we're focused and not just throwing shit at the wall.
But why vote for the assured game of the year when you can vote for the underdog? Animal Crossing Pocket Camp.
I swear to God.
If the New England Patriots win that Super Bowl, Animal Crossing can win.
Fruitless debate.
I am just adding noise to the conversation. Da, 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 da.
Well, I mean, don't delete it. I mean, you know,
I'm
you put
moving
it, like,
it down.
Okay.
Down.
That's fair.
We will.
That's fair.
Hey,
It'll rise. It'll rise.
Evan, it has the most votes.
No, it doesn't.
It most certainly does.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, so
Reggie's
I think,
vote doesn't count.
Okay, so those top 5 games, I'm comfortable. Those should be there. I think the next one,
Zelda, Mario, Persona, Horizon, Wolfenstein. Yeah,
so I feel like to me, just looking at these right here, and people tell me if they agree. I think the ones that like have the most discussion are the most interesting that we should add on here are Sonic Mania, Resident Evil 7, Nier Automata, and then one more.
Okie dokie.
Ghost Recon.
Okay, if we're real, I'd say Automata should go up.
Automata.
No, like we haven't touched that one, and I haven't played it either.
Automata should be 6.
Automata is brilliant.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like the story and the scope of it, and then, like, the only reason I haven't really gotten into it is because I feel like I'm intimidated by like the time commitment, and I know that's ironic for someone who's played a ton of Persona 5.
Yeah,
but
it's a commitment.
But like, it's still
you can't do them all.
It's a game that makes you invest and it makes you think, and so I respect it and think it should be on there.
Okay. I would defend Automata just on its music execution.
So now we have 9 games, right? And I feel like
we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we have all these other ones that we've been talking about that we could pop in there as number 10.
Okay, so now we have to argue about what's number 10, and this is when I really double down and say Animal Crossing Pocket Camp should be number 10.
Number 1.
Hey, In the Woods.
Oh my god.
So Night in the Woods we haven't talked about yet.
Okay, let's talk about Night in the Woods.
Okay,
finally.
Me.
Okay.
By the way, you have 14 minutes before Best Buy closes.
Mine closes in another hour.
They close at 11. Yeah, he's in Salt Lake City, man.
I'm in Salt Lake. I got time. The roads are probably actually iced over, so probably. Anyway, Night in the Woods. That's more important anyway. Okay. When I reviewed this, and I begged and pleaded to review this, I gave it a 10. And I did. I gave it a 10.
With him.
We don't give 10s out for anything very often.
I got this game when it came out. I played it over 2.5 days, basically straight. I didn't sleep because the things that this game put in front of me kept me up at night. And I busted out the immediate, and I gave it a 10. And I do not regret any of them. And honestly, the reason why, and I don't expect this to really click with everybody, but like the young folks, you know, kind of the mission statement is like, oh, we're basically millennials. Speaking about art.
We are young.
We are young. The song. And I don't think any game kind of spoke to that mission statement in me being able to review it in that same way, because it's a game about people our age in the crap that we are currently dealing with. It looks like it's a game about animals, but within the first 25 minutes of this game, it starts being almost too resonant. To the point where you feel like it's almost talking to you. Not in like a creepy Doki Doki way. In a way that it understands. The basic premise is that you play this character. She's a cat, and 20 years old, and she quits college and moves back home with her parent, and won't tell anybody, including her parents, why. And she moves back to her podunk hometown in the Midwest. It's an old coal mining town, and it looks just like a million freaking towns in America. Them vote president. And you have to reconnect with this town and friends that you left behind. And you have to deal with the mental and emotional trauma that led you to it. And then maybe also there's an elder god hiding out in the woods.
You know, like you do.
Town. And it just... it's really just a story-based game. It's like an old-school point-and-click adventure game. You don't do a whole lot, but the things that you do have purpose and direction, if only to tell you about these characters. And I mean... Huh?
What was described to me was that it was like a Sierra point-and-click adventure as directed by Noah Baumbach.
That's fair.
Ooh.
That's
all
fair.
right.
Let me tell you, there's a section of the game where you find the main character's mother works as a secretary at the local church. So a part of your character line with your mother, reestablishing your connection with your mother, requires you to go to the church, and you meet the pastor, and you talk with them about God. And the character, I mean, you don't pick the character's statements too much. The character has their own personality, and I love that about it. And they talk about God, and then the pastor just kind of jives with them, surprisingly, and just tries to be a good person. And it extends into this homeless guy living outside of the church, and the pastor tries to get the city to help him out, get him some housing, and the city tells them no, because, well, it's a red town, let's put it that way. And you just see, like, this whole effort. And as somebody with, like, an evangelical background, that screwed me up, because the dialogue that they had, it wasn't just somebody who did some research, it was somebody who lived that. And there are bits and pieces of things like that will resonate with people all over the place. You have a character who resents the main character for going to college at all, because she never got that chance because her father died and she had to work at her store. You have a punk rock dressing grocery bodega store clerk, basically, who is scared that the only person who's ever loved him in life is going to leave him because he can't control his own emotions, and he might be bipolar and ebbing and flowing, and he's scared that the only person who's ever cared about him will leave him. And none of this ends up tying into the titular Night in the Woods until you reach the very end, and you've got all of these millennials standing over a pit where there might be an eldritch god, and then you have the older people of the town on the other side arguing with them. And it's just this perfect metaphor for, like, 27, what it means to be somebody my age in this period of time. And these are all freaking South Park-looking animals, honestly. And it's just such a wonderful piece of art. Not just a video game, but art. And I will evangelize for... I don't care if it makes a... but freaking go buy it. Please. Let it screw you up.
Hey, man. All right. It's a good sales pitch.
I'm all for adult thematics and weird looking talking animals. So.
I mean, there's a lot of good jokes about Chris Evans coming to their small fairs, like how they sometimes will bring in celebrities before they're famous, and they make a joke about their big duck float running over Chris Evans in the middle of the and I was like, that's such a stupid thing, and I love it.
Was Chris Evans not weirded out by all of the animal people?
I don't know. Maybe
it's like BoJack Horseman, where they're just kind of there and nobody.
You're just all right with it.
Yeah.
This is how I became really interested in this game. In like August, Travis did a list of his top 5 favorite video games of all time, and he put Night of the Woods at number 4 of all time.
This game has sat with me all year long, and sit with me. It was.
I
also
think
super socialist. Unrelated, but it's super
it should
socialist.
have some sort of place in our top 10 because it did get a 10 out of 10, and across all media, we don't give it 10 out of 10 very often.
I was going to say, like there's several points in like your speech that I think make it so that this game deserves to be on here. One, if it was one of the only like top 10, the only 10 score of the year, it like needs to be there. Like that's
right. It's got to be on there somewhere.
And then two, like your idea, like that it's also our list as the young folks, considering it's a game all about being young folks.
Oh, I'll tell you right now, if I could convince everyone on this staff, not just the video game staff, but just this staff to like play it, I would. If I could actually play it.
All right,
Because
so
I do genuinely think there's something in that for everybody. And really, what it comes down to, what it comes down to is like, you know, in Guardians of the where they think they've beaten Ronan and the ship crashes and like Rocket's holding the twig of Groot, he thinks he's dead, and then like Drax just kind of pets him, and it's just this quiet kind of almost out of nowhere moment where just like somebody acknowledges that he's there. That's what this game feels like to me. Just like somebody else reaching out and saying, "Hey, we're here too. We get it. You're here. That's okay." It's weird. I'm getting emotional thinking.
I think that the top 10 you have right now is perfect. Right as right now.
Yeah.
So the one game where I'm like, and that's probably because I just don't know enough about it, is the Doki Doki Lit Club.
I'm sure once you play it, you'll probably be super engaged by it.
I wish I could spoil more.
To me, that's the most expendable one.
Yeah, I mean, if we have to give it up, we've got Resident Evil.
No. Allow me to sell Doki Doki Literature Club to you. It's free, and it's on this top 10 list.
Do you know what's also free and was number on this list?
Justin, you play horror games. Are you familiar?
Pardon?
Are you familiar with Doki Doki Literature?
I've actually never heard of it before.
Really?
Yeah, and I usually play a lot of horror games. So
it's not.
It's very unassuming.
If he hasn't even heard of it, I would feel better if he was on board with it.
This is what our list looks like right now.
Again, the best way to sell this game, it's free as shit. Like it's not like one of those.
Okay, so Evan put a playthrough. Let me skip through this a little bit. And find something weird so you guys can see it.
Horizon Zero Dawn is like having Breath of the Wild on there twice.
Dude, Horizon Zero Dawn's the most polished game I've played all year. Let me find just a clip here.
Honestly, I think Night in the Woods should be ahead of Resident Evil 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it should at least be higher than Doki Doki Lit Club.
Let's drop Doki Doki just because
I am the least.
Are we dropping Doki Doki?
I don't want to, but
I don't want to either. But I mean, if
here's the deal. Animal Crossing Pocket Camp will just be the 11. Let's pretend it's not even. Pretend it's not
fight for it to beat Doki Doki. Like I wasn't expecting Animal Crossing Pocket Camp to get to drive as much of the cap.
What?
Pocket
Camp. The underdog.
Pocket Camp. I did not expect it to gain so much love and traction in this discussion.
I think we should give it the rank of A.
I was hoping
number 1
to be
A
number 10.
overall. It is A overall.
See, I knew the only games I was really invested in were Persona 5, Mario Odyssey, and Breath of the Wild, and Horizon. And those are all up there anyway. So like the only
said Breath of the Wild.
It's been a while. I haven't eaten in a while, guys. I'm trying to wrap it up.
Very tired.
I gotta go to bed.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you want to look at what's up with Doki Doki, look at this part of the Septiceye playthrough. If you want to glance at it real quick,
or just again, don't spoil yourself. Just genuinely do not spoil yourself.
I don't want to spoil it. But if we're gonna insist on it being on here, we have to.
The game is free and it's roughly 3 hours long.
By the way, so Evan, for the music list, which I am doing as the music editor, I am including honorable mentions.
Yeah, I will do a set of honorable mentions, of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
the most honored mention.
What will be those honorable? Okay, one of them is going to be goddamn Animal Crossing.
I vote that's on the main list.
It could still make the main list.
Honorable mentions.
Okay, but can we just wait.
Serious question though. Serious question. Doki Doki is like 3 hours, right?
Yeah, to 100% completion, it's about 3 hours.
So I feel like that's more of an honorable mention than Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, where you can play continuously every day and you enjoy it every time.
Well, I mean,
that's a good point.
Times a 3 hour experience that seems like perfection might be better than I don't know, infinite madness.
Quality versus quantity.
Socialism. The word you're looking for is socialism.
No, I'm pretty sure you can still get a. I'm pretty sure you can still get Alone in Pocket Camp.
I vote for Doki Doki just for the mere fact I'm more likely to play that than Animal Crossing.
But Animal Crossing is always with you.
It's free.
Oh, good God, no.
It's funny you say it that way, given that Doki Doki
I
is
hate Animal Crossing with a passion.
I've never played Animal Crossing before this. I always thought, like, oh, like, what's the point? Like, if I'm gonna sit down and, like, add a console, like, I'm gonna, like, play a different game. But, like, it's perfect for a mobile game when you just want to waste time and have a good time and enjoy yourself.
And waste other people's time making a list.
I'm just saying, like, okay, I'm not, like, I know I've been, like, trolling you guys for a lot of this discussion. Like,
No!
When I sat down and
shattered my world.
When I just sat down and I thought about, like, what games, like, were actually, like, the most fun and brought me the most joy, what I've actually played the most, Animal Crossing's up there. Like, I'm not even kidding.
That I will say that's valid.
Okay, does that just make you a victim of high consumerism?
We're talking about video games. We're
capitalist thing, comrade.
I haven't spent a single dime on Pocket Camp, and I've never felt like I've needed to, and it's fine.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
We're also talking about video games. That's pretty much the descriptor for all of this.
This year's the year of microtransactions. That's
that being said, it would be great to have 2 games on this list that are entirely free, and they are that good.
That could be cool.
Some of
just
the,
to stick it to them.
We have listed, like, super down here. Like, I think that kind of an elephant in the room here are 1 Cuphead and 2 PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
I can do without it.
That's true.
No, I'll throw in another black sheep. Divinity Original Sin 2.
It's down here. We just haven't talked about it.
Oh, I haven't even touched that. I don't.
I'm gonna need to get some dinner if we're gonna be talking about that.
Oh, we lost someone.
No, we did.
We lost Chris. He probably had to go to sleep because he works at like 6 in the morning.
He's probably downloading Animal Crossing Pocket Camp.
I think I'm gonna play Doki Doki come this weekend just to try it out.
Do it.
I think you'll enjoy it. I think
the best recommendation I can make of this game is, just do it.
I don't know. I've played too many horror games that I'm kind of desensitized now.
No,
this is the one to play.
It's a different kind of horror game. It's like a, oh wait, did I do that? Oh fuck no!
Okay, so is Divinity Original Sin 2, while Alex is away, that good?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's not as good as Animal Crossing Pot. No,
no, you're not perpetuating it when he's not here.
Okay,
I'm kidding. No, it is a fascinating game. Like, it is one of those games where you ever want to, like, fuck with the world and see how much shit you can break before the game just collapses in on itself?
Oh, yeah.
Like, you ever play... Okay.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild.
My favorite example of it is that if you tried to play Knights of the Old Republic 2 as an evil person, the game is incompletable because you just murder story quest people, and the game's like, well, you fucked up! Enjoy Nar Shaddaa for the rest of your life, dumbass!
That's true.
So, like, there's breakable points in the game. I have tried so hard to do that in Divinity Original Sin 2. The game is designed to be unfuckable, and it is amazing. Like, no matter how... You can murder everybody, every single NPC in the game, and still get the plot done. Like, it is fascinating. And not only that, it's not just like, oh, you're the hero, but you have this sea of blood behind you of child corpses. They acknowledge, like, wow! I mean, thanks for saving the village, but also, like, fuck you for murdering everyone in the village, you dick! Like, it's great. Okay, so, also, I am biased. I am playing as a sassy skeleton who... Okay, so allow me. I'll sell this game to you just on the races alone. So there's your human, which is your bland milquetoast. Fucking humans. Immediately next, elves. The knife-eared fucks of this game are cannibals. They eat people, and when they eat people, they gain their memories. So all elves are like shitty detectives who eat body parts and they're like, "Oh, yep, no, that guy did it." Nobody trusts elves. Dwarves are like just mechanical geniuses and can fucking they're every single dwarf is a MacGyver. There are lizard people and they're all stuck up aristocrat types. Like they're the bougie, like, oh, I can't believe I have to deal with the commoners. And then there's skeletons. There's an undead race that have to hide themselves in skinned humans in order to like pass off being not a skeleton. And every time when you play as a skeleton, it's fantastic. All the dialogue is like, "Oh god, you people are just ruining all of this. All you fucking terrible meat people." Ugh. It's like, isn't it weird that like humans are just skeletons trapped in meat, and your guy's like, "Yeah, I have fucking nightmares about that every goddamn day."
Well, okay.
Yeah, it's a great ass game.
I played a bit of the first one. I was intrigued that there was going to be a sequel. I was just very upset it wasn't coming to consoles right away.
Oh yeah, no, it's
just PC only. I don't think I'm going to play it until it comes to consoles. If it does,
good fucking luck. It's a big ass. It's an old school Western RPG. So like, it's borderline incomprehensible on a console. I love the fact that they tried, but like, I cannot imagine navigating that menu with a controller.
I can already see it in the gameplay.
The first game, I just like I love the story already, but I only got like 2 hours into it because it was tough to play. But yeah, I was, and not that I'm anti PC because I play a lot of World of Warcraft, but I just don't want to play a big RPG like that on the PC.
Understandable.
Yeah, but otherwise it looks great.
Yeah, no, and it's huge. Like I put more time into Divinity Original Sin than I have into Xenoblade Chronicles. I put in about 30 hours, and I just left the tutorial island. Like,
where's that review at, by the way?
Huh?
Where's that review at?
Fucking working on it, man. This is a slow ass JRPG. All right.
All right. So that being said, let's kind of like zip things back around here because we've got a top 10. I just want to double check and make sure. Are we swapping out Doki Doki with something else? Because it sounds like, despite being only 3 hours and being just a free game that got put out there,
I mean, 3 hours is just the surface. If you really want to play around with it, there's a lot.
Yeah, no, it's a good ass game, but I mean, it's hard to rate that above anything else. You know, Doki Doki is so unique. It's a bolt of lightning out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, okay. We'd have to ruin a lot of it. Yeah. So I mean, if we've got to cut it, we've got to cut it.
We're talking. Is it better than Hollow Knight? Is it better than Yakuza? Is it better?
Okay. So let's put it this way: the top 3 of this list are, of course, picks. They're not like, oh wow, I don't know if Legend of Zelda or Super Mario could be Game of the Year. Of course they are. Like, it's Nintendo.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the stuff that aren't in the top 10, the stuff that are below Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. Right. There's my Bitcoin alert.
Is that?
So, I think unless we are convinced that Doki Doki doesn't necessarily have a place here, I think we've got a list. I think we just got to sort it. Did I lose you guys? Uh-oh. Hold on. I'm pretty sure we just blew up Discord's video chat. Oh, ooh, this is fun. We totally broke Discord. Dang, it broke. Can anybody hear me?
I know you can.
Hey!
Hey.
Okay,
For
hold on, are we back?
Split second, I was
Back.
for a split second,
Looks
I was
like-
alone, and I was going to hijack this discussion about Animal Crossing.
You already have 90%
Our Lord and Savior,
You haven't.
Yoko
done that
Taro,
yet.
has intervened to stop you.
Oh my god.
Animal
All
Crossing
of this
broke
is
the
about
chat.
Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. Every single conversation, Animal Crossing.
Okay.
You know,
Let's wrap this up before Discord shits the bed.
Yeah,
though.
okay. Alright, okay.
I walked out and I saw all three of my sisters all playing Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. And I told them, like, I'm trying to convince these guys to put Animal Crossing on the list. And they're like, yeah, this is like the only game I've played this year.
Oh
This
my
should be
God,
number one.
Fine. I will
Yeah.
put it
Great
in number 10, and that's we're good. Okay, so
Or the
Animal
Animal
Crossing Pocket
okay, so
Camp.
our top 10 is Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, Resident Evil 7, Sonic Mania, Night in the Woods, Nier Automata, Wolfenstein 2, Horizon Zero Dawn, Persona 5, Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild. 10-1.
All hate mail for Animal Crossing on this list goes directly to Alex.
Bring it.
Yeah, you get to write that piece.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you can
Oh,
write that one.
You do.
I wouldn't let
Only
anybody else
That's
do it.
all you, buddy.
This is your hill,
I'm
you
good
die
with
on
this
it.
list. The one honorable mention I would put out there is Neo.
Yeah, definitely Neo
that's-
is on here on our
Yeah, I
on
like
the
that.
honorable mention.
I like that one
list.
too.
That's
Team
probably-
Ninja did a great job, and it's a lot deeper than just a Dark Souls clone.
Definitely. All right, so definitely. I mean, it's a super close list, and like it's great that
I like
there's
this
so
list.
many amazing games. I mean, we have a very complex honorable mentions list that almost
Yeah.
kind of exceeds that of the regular list, but it's because there's so many great games, and I think that it's a diverse enough set of picks.
Yeah.
Do we want to just try to make a quick stab at, do we really think Breath of the Wild should be the number one?
So, I mean, if I don't know how long we want to argue about the actual ranking of the 10. To me, I think it'd be cool to have Persona 5 as number one.
I would agree with that.
I it's a lot of what Travis was saying about Night in the Woods. I very much felt about Persona 5. It is a game all about being young people seizing power and not getting rid of these old rotten adults who are in power, but convincing them to come clean. And
oh yeah, it's totally
how...
it's totally a power fantasy of somebody, especially a group of millennials, taking the twisted desires and complexities of the adult world and being like, this isn't right. Why do we have to deal with this? And then instead of just dealing with it, you change it for the better. And not only that, but it's got style up the ass.
I have not stopped listening to the music. The
Same.
music
I can't stop.
of this game is so amazing. Like, usually battle music kind of like grates me, especially if it has lyrics. I'm hearing over and over and over. I can like listen to Last Surprise literally every day.
Yeah, the music's really solid. Literally, the only thing about the game that ever grates on me is the character dialogue mid and post combat, but that's literally it. And any time that the game seems like it's gonna get monotonous with like the social skills and the plot lines or the combat, it doesn't. Like Mementos changes,
there's always something.
What you're doing in combat changes, the social stuff changes. It's like the tutorial doesn't end really for the first like 13 hours until you actually get to Mementos for the first time, which is like the part where you go down into those different layers in the subway tunnels, and that's kind of like where you buff out your stats and stuff.
I get that. It kind of sucks that everything has to go up against Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild just kind of feels like a cultural touchstone. Like, I think that's the one that we've all played, or just about.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Maybe
It
not.
definitely has the most votes just by, like, we've all... Like, I love Persona 5, but I also know a lot of people who don't want to get into it, or don't have the time, or don't really get its, like, significance. But, like, I feel like everybody connects to Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, there's something just kind of magical about it. And I liked Odyssey more than Breath of the Wild, but I mean, if we're going to bring it down to just logistics, Breath of the Wild
did
probably.
too. Like, I really thought that Mario Odyssey was the most perfect Mario game since 64.
Yeah, Odyssey really does feel like what 64 wanted to be. You know, it's like they finally were able to just slap all of their ideas together.
And Mario has changed over time, but I think for the first time, there's like a tonal shift that happens for the best. And 64 did that, right? Like there was always like this expectation of Mario, and then it just took a little turn to the weird, and then it's kind of maintained that status for some time, and then it just took the hardest left turn that you possibly could. But it still feels the same. It somehow still feels exactly like those past games.
Yeah, it does. It's I guess Odyssey just still is more looking back, where Breath of the Wild just threw caution to the wind. So that's why.
So Breath of the Wild is literally the most dynamically. It's not even a Zelda game to me, in that it's evolved that concept so much, and I think that's the only reason why I would ever say it belongs anywhere lower, because it is a fabulous game. It just doesn't feel like a Zelda game, but at the same time, it's kind of like
But I mean, it's the Last Jedi syndrome. Like, yeah, it blows up a lot of the conventions, but look what we got out of it. Like, I don't think it's the best Zelda game.
It's definitely,
it's
definitely the biggest, most expansive, really engaging map that I've seen in any open world game, any sandbox game.
It's magic in its own way.
Yeah,
and it did something different. Important. And it did something different to the Legend of Zelda series that we haven't really seen before. Like everything before was,
it desperately needed it, man. That last console one with Skyward Sword, that's exactly everybody's complaints about Skyward Sword were the same things they were saying about The Force Awakens. So that's a good parallel, Travis.
Yeah, I want to say Odyssey personally. I wouldn't even be against Persona 5 because I know a lot of you guys loved it, but I mean, when you just think about like, why did the Switch succeed? Why was Nintendo the talk of the town? Why is there a Twitter moment right now about a writer from Stephen Colbert talking about Zelda being the boy one, and that's, you know, transcended gaming into, you know, all these other cultural things. Like, there's something about Breath of the Wild just clicked with pretty much everybody.
Yeah, and I think just for itself, just as a game, it had a bigger impact and a bigger change in terms of just what the Switch needed, what everyone needed just for Legend of Zelda, that I just can't put Odyssey before it when the impact just bites.
And you know what? I mean, it was so I'm kind of remembering the soft feelings that I was having about it when I was first playing through it. And I'm flashing back to being at work and talking to people about that game and imagining.
Yeah, it's the Skyrim effect.
Well, no, not Skyrim.
It totally.
Like, well, I just mean like you go and you talk about what you did, and then they talk about what they did.
But because you were able to do it in any order, and there was this mystique about it, because nobody knew where it was gonna go, or what you were looking at, or how to do it, how to do the stuff. It didn't just lay it out in front of you. It was like the original Zelda game.
What was it? What was it?
I think it took forever for it to come out. Like, the game has been in development for years. I have friends who bought like a Wii U waiting for this game.
I was one of them.
Console,
I was one of them. I bought the Zelda Edition one.
You didn't get it for Smash Brothers?
Oh, I mean, Smash Brothers was a given, but like, I was like, yeah, I'll buy it because the Zelda game will eventually come out. And then it did. I actually played that version. It's just as good. Yeah, I mean, if we're doing a group list, I think it's got to be Breath of the Wild.
That's fair. Yeah, I would say on my personal list,
I don't even agree, but I think it's
I'm told. Like I said, Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, Persona 5. To me, they are all games of the year. Like
it's almost
the
like
fact that we're like talking between the three of them just shows how like spoiled for choice we are this year.
It's true.
I'm comfortable with all three of those being number one and being in any order really. And so yeah, they're just all great games.
As someone that hasn't played any of the top three, like for all of them to have such universal claim as being perfection, that's got to stand for something, and I can't disagree with that. I don't know when I'm going to get a Switch. That's part of the reason I haven't played Mario or Zelda. But Persona 5 is something I've wanted to play for a while. And something everybody swears by on the Sony PlayStation. So,
we're definitely spoiled for choice. All three of these games that we're talking about here, you start one of them, you could potentially spend 100 hours on any of them.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like, that's probably why I have
for two of them. I have to because my Switch died.
Yeah,
the biggest thing I've heard about all three of them is to spend 100 hours and not feel exhausted.
Yeah, well, in Mario Odyssey, for example, you need like call it 200 stars to get to the proper ending of the first actual ending of the game, and then there's 1,000 to get from there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So and then Breath of the Wild, you get to do it in any order, and you can do as many tasks as you want. And
let's be clear, there's almost no restriction on what you can do. It does not say no.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, and then Persona is just like, it's linear, but as an RPG, it is constantly engaging and constantly switching things up, and the pacing is like, oh my god, man! Like, yeah, definitely.
It's like playing Pokemon and watching a really good anime series at the same time.
It's exactly
in terms of, and you know, like when anime is good, it's really good, and when Pokemon's good, it's really good. And so Persona 5, it's like a perfect peanut butter and jelly.
Definitely. And then Horizon, I don't know if you guys feel a similar way about Horizon. It seems like I
love it. Like,
praised.
I feel bad for it because these other three games really have dominated the conversation. But Horizon, like I'm playing it right now, and it's great. I mean, like the art is beautiful. It reminds me a lot of like Far Cry 3 in terms of just like skulking about and crafting and being a woodsman. The fact that it has like such a strong female protagonist is definitely a big selling point for it, and it's great. It has a great voice acting from Ashley Birch, I believe her name is.
Pulling double duty nonetheless.
Oh yeah.
I mean, spoilers, kind of, but pulling double duty.
But
it's been out all year. You don't have an excuse.
Yeah, so it's a fantastic game. It deserves to be on this list. I like it at number 4.
That ending for Horizon is just so melancholy.
I haven't even touched it yet.
Oh,
my only complaint about the game is just the last boss fight. That's the only complaint I have.
That would be my only complaint about Breath of the Wild, and it's number 1. So
yeah. But otherwise, captivating story that I couldn't put it down. I was in school at the time, and I'm like, well, screw schoolwork. I mean, that's normal with playing video games, but I just couldn't put it down.
And then,
I honestly like the way that it looks right now, to be honest with you.
And then Wolfenstein 2, Properly Bonkers, Nier, we talked about, Night in the Woods, we talked about, Sonic Mania, Resident Evil,
and that last one.
And that one.
So, okay, the fact that you said there's going to be an animal, I was about to say there's going to be an animal mentions.
Yeah.
If there is an honorable mention, and someone has like, okay, this game needs to be recognized, someone can convince me to drop Animal Crossing. I just wanted to stake my claim.
It's fine.
Well, here's the deal. The only thing in this honorable mentions list that I've played is Injustice 2 and Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight's great, but I haven't heard anybody really talk about it, and so I'm wondering if it's even if it should even be an honorable mention.
I also enjoy
it.
I would argue for it, because if you really like it and Miles really likes it, like, then give it an honorable mention and convince the rest of us. Like, I have no problems with any of that.
That's the thing. To me, I was somebody who was I was disappointed with how Metroid Samus Returns came out, and because it did the Metroidvania bit this year with such style and polish, and it just had a great atmosphere.
Once it's out on Switch, I'm gonna play it. So
yeah, definitely. Like, remember when you played Sundered? It came out around the same time, and
it did.
Everything that Sundered wanted to be, that game did. But then people weren't talking about it, or people have been talking about it, but it just hasn't really been making the rounds, I think. But
yeah, it's a lot of things. We're spoiled for choice.
Yeah,
it's really what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got no problem with any of that. The honorable mention list, the main list.
Honestly, I've been brainwashed about the Animal Crossing thing, so I can't really look at anything else in the honorable mentions list and say that should be there instead.
Yeah, just let him have it. He's earned it.
I'm just gonna let him have it.
Yeah.
And that's our
list. It's like midnight. Let him take it.
It's midnight 30 for me.
Yeah, I've still got a PUBG to go buy.
All right. Let's wrap this up.
We have it. We have it, folks.
It took a couple hours, but we got it.
It took a couple hours. We got our list, and I thank you guys for putting up with this indoctrination.
Seriously, guys, I know I've been like messing with you guys, but really download Pocket Camp, because like I downloaded it. Like, people told me like you should play it. I'm like, no, it's stupid. I don't really care. And then I downloaded it, and sure enough, I spent like 2 hours just sort of playing around with it, and I play it every day, and it's just a good time.
Like, this is the kind of direction I don't need.
Convince me how this is not like Simpsons Tapped Out.
It's exactly like
it's not the Simpsons Tapped Out. I'll tell you that.
It's not. For one thing, also, like, the amount of stuff you do get, it does slow down as you level up. Like, when you get, like, past level 20.
Sounds like Simpsons Tapped Out.
But
not convincing me.
I haven't felt compelled to spend real money. I feel like it's not... Like, I feel like the option's there, but, like, it's not, like, ripping me off.
Yes.
And then it's just enjoyable. Like, you walk, like, it's just all about talking and being friends with people. And, you know, like, I need more of that in 2017. There it is.
Good enough. Let's call it. I've got
we're gonna call it. I'm gonna bid everybody good night.
I am done. Good night. Bye.
Yeah. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
We're not gonna pick up until January, so we'll see y'all then.
Woo!